This is the BOOKOO HP100S 3000 peak amp car jump starter with AC inverter. Let's take it out of the box. In the box they give you a nice bag to keep everything in. They give you the user manual. They give you the charger for it, you know, one of these little wall wart things with the USB port. That's a nice thing because most things don't even come with these anymore, so they give you that there. And of course the USB cable to charge it, which is USB to USB-C. You also get, of course, the jump starter itself with the cables. Decentish spring on that. It should clamp on the battery cables all right. And they give you the 12-volt cigarette lighter, or if you must be politically correct, power socket right there. The jump starter itself, let me hit the button on there. You can see it has a numeric display right there. So it will show you the current state of charge right there. You have buttons here that will power it on as such. There's a flashlight. So if you hold the button, flashlight turns on. So you have solid on, you have strobe, and you have an SOS mode. Like that. Press again, it turns off. Then we have other panels here. We can open this one up, and in here you have the USB-C port, which is where you're going to plug in to charge it. Two QC 3.0 USB ports right over here. You can plug any kind of USB cable in that you want. And over here is where the 12-volt adapter that I showed you before plugs in. I'm going to show you how this works a little bit later on. So we can close that up, and then we can come back around to this side and open that up, and that is where the adapter cables for the battery are going to plug in, and they're keyed as well. So if you take a look, you have a flat on one of these, but the other one's round. They taught this in kindergarten, although I have learned that some of us were out that day. Square peg doesn't fit in a round hole. But if we turn it around the right way, you're all set and it plugs in. Now, just because you get that right doesn't mean you can't mix up the other end, which are these cables here. Red goes to the happy cable, black goes to the sad cable. But sometimes in the heat of the moment when somebody's battery goes dead, they think the world is ending and the sky is falling and all kinds of stuff like that. And in the heat of the moment, you might hook it up backwards. Well, not to worry, because BOOKOO has you covered for that. It has all sorts of protection built into it. It has overcharge, overcurrent protection, overvoltage protection, and beyond a myriad of others, you also have reverse polarity protection. So if you hook it up backwards, you're not going to hurt anything. So you don't have to worry about that. But one other feature that this has is the AC inverter. And we're going to test this out in a little bit. Right over here. Let me turn it that way. You can actually fit a 3-prong cord in there. It's a standard outlet there. This is 110, not 120 volts, but for most things out there, it's going to be just fine, because if you look at the nameplates on them, they're going to generally say 110 to 125 volts, at least here in the US, and some of them will even go up to 240 volts. In fact, some even run as low as 85 volts. So this is pretty good for a lot of different stuff here. And like I said, we'll demonstrate that in a bit here. Other than that, that pretty much covers all of the bells and whistles of it here. So it doesn't do us much more good right here, right now. You want to see how to jumpstart a car with this and what this little guy is for. So let me show you that first. We'll go out to the car, I'll show you that, and we'll come back and we'll test out the AC adapter. I'm sorry, the AC inverter. So it's real easy to use when you do the jump starter. You just open this up and it's keyed. So it can't fit that way. It can only fit the right way, which is over here. So we'll plug that in like that. If your car has a cover over one of the battery cables here, just take that off, get it out of the way. The red you hook up to the happy side. The black you hook up to the sad side. You just get a good connection on there. And once connected, you can start the car. And there you go. That's all there is to it. So we'll disconnect the cables. We'll unplug this from here. You can just put the little rubber guy back in there to keep it protected. Put the cover back on your battery if it has one. Close the hood, and you're on your way. So now I'm going to show you what you can do with the power socket over here, the cigarette lighter socket. For example, here's the unit itself. We can open up the panel here, plug it in to the jack there, and over here I have the plug that I'll plug in for one of these little 12-volt tire inflators. And all I have to do is just press the button on the thing. It turns on, and now I could pump my tire up using this. Let me just get my pressure set here. There we go. So now I'm inflating my tire using the BOOKOO battery pack. And just to prove it stops when I unplug that. So you can power all of your 12-volt accessories off of this as well. This is going to be especially useful if you have one of those cell phone chargers that only works in the car and doesn't have a removable USB plug that you can plug into, you know, like anywhere nowadays. It would be great for that. There's some car vacuums, car refrigerators, or thermoelectric coolers that you could run off of this for a time. The tire inflator is a great thing. Maybe you're going camping and you have an inflatable mattress, and one of those runs off the car, but you're going to hike way up, you know, Mount Everest or whatever it is that you have there, and you're going to camp out on top of that. Can't get the car or the truck up there, that's impossible, so you can take this with you and power that inflator for your mattress. So it's multi-versatile for many, many different items, and of course the USB that's on here as well that we showed before, and of course the 110 volt outlet, so you can actually power devices like that as well. It's really got a lot going for it. So we're going to start with little stuff here and make our way up to the big stuff. So here's my phone. I wanted to just show you the USB ports on here so it can be used as a battery bank. We'll go ahead and hit the power button on that. The phone lights up, and there we go. The phone is charging, and you can charge your phone from this. And another USB device at the same time, because this is a second port. And if you wanted to use the 12-volt output at the same time, you can do that as well. You want to use the AC inverter at the same time, you can also do that if you wanted. But, you know, one thing at a time here. It is a jump starter after all. You want to save it for your car. So let's test out the AC inverter. Power the unit on and press the AC button. It now says AC out on the display. So like I said, we're going to start little and go big. This inverter will handle up to 100 watts. Now, that may not sound like a lot. It's a tremendous amount of power for the types of things that you're going to be plugging in. Remember, look at the physical size of this. There's only so much you're going to be able to do, but you'd be surprised at what it actually can do. Here is a 120 volt electric shaver. It uses a couple of watts. It's nothing big. It's nothing, you know, it could run off a AA battery practically. But there you go. Turn it on. It operates just fine. Alright, so no big deal on that. Let's say you're having a power outage and you need to open up a can. Here's a can opener, straight from my kitchen. It's been around since, I think, about 2004. Still works just fine. We'll plug that in. That operates just fine. This is one of those fancy ones that cuts off so it doesn't, the lid doesn't cut you on it. It runs that just fine. Now let's go to something a bit bigger. See, here's a laptop. Here's the charger for it, right? So we'll go ahead and plug that in. See how the screen got bright there? That means it's charging. And in fact, it shows that down in the lower right corner there. So you can charge your laptop off of the BOOKOO car battery jump starter. Let's go for some more. Here is a 7-watt incandescent light bulb. Now we know it's going to light that up. That's no problem right there. You can see how that lights up without any issue. Now we're going to go for the big guns right now. Let's take that out. I have here an 85-watt floodlight bulb. This is about the closest thing I could find to 100 watts without going over. Let's screw that in. You see there's no other wires, nothing, it's just this. And there you go. Lights it right up without any problem whatsoever. So now you have a huge flashlight as such. But just to prove that this will power a lot of different things without any possible problem, even on the inverter. As much as you think 100 watts may not be a lot, it actually is a tremendous amount of power. So this can do an awful lot for you all around. It can obviously charge your phone, it can charge your tablet, it can run any other USB device, it can jumpstart your car, and it can power AC line voltage things. You can charge your laptop, run a can opener if you needed to, get a quick shave, whatever you need to do. It does absolutely everything for you. The battery in here is 18,000 milliamp hours, and it can start up to an 8-liter gasoline engine. This jump starter can start up to 30 starts per charge. So if you have 30 different cars with dead batteries, theoretically you can hook this up and charge the batteries in any of those, one after the next. So once again, this was the BOOKOO HP100S 3000 peak amp car jump starter with AC inverter. If you'd like to purchase this item, I'll leave a link in the video description where you can find the item available for sale on Amazon. Thanks for watching. Make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.